Hi, in this video I want to show you how I made this little container to give away some treats, some cookies, whatever you want to put inside here that you can give away. This I started with a container that is one of these drink mixes containers. So I wanted to call this one more like a trash to treasure kind of thing. So I took the paper off of it, and then I have a piece of designer paper that measures 6 by 8 3/4, and I added score tape on the top and the two sides of the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see how we're going to start this. I'm going to go ahead and take the tape off one side, and then I'm going to add this to my container. And then I also took my glue stick and I just added a little bit of glue. Just don't press too hard. Glue sticks tends to be a little soft, and if you do it too hard, then you get like clumps of glue. And then I'm going to go ahead and wrap this around my entire container. And when I get to this part, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a little bit off here on the top where I have the score tape and the one on the side, and then I'm going to see how it didn't match completely here. That's okay, because we're going to add decoration to the bottom of that. And I started with a piece of pink cardstock, and this was 1/2 inch by 8 1/2, and then I used my scallop punch, and I scalloped the edge and pierced each individual scallop. Then I also added score tape to the back of this piece, and I'm going to add it to the bottom of my box. So that's why I said if you didn't line it up quite perfectly, then that's fine, because it's going to get covered with this piece. Okay, then I'm going to take a piece of pink cardstock, and this is a light color pink, and then I did one with a darker color. I'm going to stamp this image from a stamp set called With All of My Heart from Stampin' Up, and I'm going to stamp it in Versamark. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my flower punch and punch this flower out. There you go. And then I did the same with this one. Then I'm going to take dimensionals, and I'm going to add this flower to my darker one, just like that. And I'm going to take a piece of Whisper White cardstock and Real Red ink. And I'm going to stamp the flower that comes in that same set. And I'm going to punch it out with my 5/8 circle punch. And this is going to go in the center of my flower. Okay, then I have a piece of white cardstock that measures 3/4 of an inch wide. And this one is pretty long. This one is what, 5.5. You can make it really anything. It doesn't matter how long it is. It just matters how wide. And I'll show you why in just a moment. I'm going to stamp my sentiment. And this one says, "With all my heart." Okay, and the reason why it doesn't matter how long, it just matters how wide, is because we're going to take our a square punch, it doesn't matter which size, and you're going to feed it through the, like you would normally punch, but kind of like an angle, and then you're going to punch to make that kind of like a banner look. And to make the pointy part, then we're going to feed it through the top, and then we're going to find our position where it looks centered, just like that, and punch, and then it looks like this. Now I'm going to take a 1/8 circle punch, handheld, and I'm going to make a hole there, and I'm going to take some of this white thread. I really don't know what kind of thread this is, but any kind of thread will work. And then I'm going to fold it in half and feed it through my hole from the back. Almost like a tag. Then I'm going to go ahead and make a knot. I'm going to leave about a 1/2 inch distance from this point to the knot. Okay. Then I'm going to take the lid of my container, and I already added score tape to the back of the flower. So I'm going to add it to my lid. And then here, even though it doesn't show that much, but it does show the tape. So then I went ahead and punched a 2-inch circle in pink. This is the lighter pink. And I added score tape to it, and I'm going to put it on the inside part to cover all the tape and everything on the flower. Okay, then I'm going to take the backing of the score tape that I have on my container and my 15 inches of ribbon, and I'm going to find the middle, kind of pinch it, and then I'm going to position that mark here where the card, the designer paper meets. Now I'm just going to guide it with my fingers to make it go all the way around. And I might be going off camera, but this is just a harder project to work with. And then I'm going to take my sentiment and I'm going to feed it through the ribbon. And then make my little knot. then I'm going to move my sentiment kind of to the front here. Trim the edges. And there you have it. It's ready to fill with whatever you want to give. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Thank you.